Okay, thank you again for checking in. Justin coming at you with another video. Again, my name is Justin Connor. I'm a sales and marketing consultant. I specifically serve the insurance and advisor space, working with annuity producers and agents. With that being said, I also consult and help marketing agency owners, online business consultants grow their sales, scale their business through mindset and sales strategy so that they can obviously take their business to the next level. And I say that just so you don't know me, of course, now you know. Man, I'm so grateful and excited. Excuse me here. So grateful and excited that you took a minute to come and join me here on this video. You will learn something very quickly about me. I am a very enthusiastic human being. That's not something that I've always been. That's actually been cultivated over the last 6-7 years. It's very interesting because I've actually spent some time to think through, like, what would it be like if I actually spoke to some people from my high school? Like, what would we talk about? And what I find to be so funny is that I've grown and changed so much since that time in my life. And, I think that that's the natural progression, 10 years out now, that you start to learn more about what you care about, who you are, what you're focused on, what matters to you, what means something to you, what kind of moves you. And through a lot of personal introspection, self-work, self-development, hundreds of books, going through all these different coaching programs and whatever it may be, I've really cultivated myself to be enthusiastic and excited. That's something that I've grown towards. So I say that for anybody who's out there who's like, man, how's this guy just putting himself out there, exposing himself? He's so excited, he's smiling, he's jacked up, he's running through this video, he's got so much enthusiasm. That was not me 5-10 years ago. Like, I had to grow that was built. That's something that's earned through the School of Hard Knocks. And I learned something from Tony Robbins, and I reference Tony Robbins a lot because he's definitely been one of those majorly influential mentors in my life from an indirect perspective, because I've not met him yet, but I know we will have an interview very shortly. Probably the next year is my goal. With that being said, he said something that was so powerful to me. He goes, people have come up to me and they said, hey, Tony, you're so amazing. You got such a cool life. You're so cool. Like, it's so cool that you're just that kind of guy. You're just like kind of born that way. It's really amazing that you kind of just born with the ability to just motivate people and help them out and help them grow their life. Like, that's so cool. And he's like, that is the one comment that I hate more than anything, because nobody knows what I've gone through to be able to become this person. He said, Tony Robbins that they're talking about when they say that is not the Tony Robbins who was driving a truck 20, 30 years ago. I cultivated this new Tony Robbins, the person that you're seeing. This was built. I grew this person. I developed this person. Here's the thing that you should be hearing. Here's what you should be learning through what I just shared. Anything that you want, any way that you want to be, any character traits that you find to be attractive in other people and individuals that you think are things that draw you to them, it's something about them that they have that aura that makes you want to be around them. That was grown, which means we all have the same DNA. We all have the same, we have the same buildup, right? For those science people are going to hold me to that, but we're all made of the same stuff. So what that means, and what I want you to read between the lines here, is that anything that you want, the way that you want to become, the way that you're looking to change your life, although it seems far away, it's actually right around the corner if you start doing the right things and you recognize that who you were does not have to be who you're going to be. Who you were is not who you're going to be. Who you were in the past is not who you're going to be. But here's the catch. It's only going to happen if you decide. I pause for a second because I really want you to think about that. Everything that's significant in our lives, anything that's important, anything that you care about, you decided, and then you started to do the things, and then it came into fruition. If you're married, right? If you have a girlfriend, a serious girlfriend, if you have a serious boyfriend, if you have kids, if you have achieved something great in sports, championship, county championship, state championship. Maybe you hit a 30-point game in basketball. You really take a second to think about it. You decided that was going to happen. Did not matter. All odds were stacked against you. No chance that it could be possible. It doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. But you decided. It didn't matter. You decided that it was going to happen. And even though you were averaging 10 points a game, you had a 30-point game because that day when you were lacing up those shoes, you're like, I don't know what it is, but today's my day. I'm going to do something crazy. Today I'm going to score 30 points. Done deal. It's a done deal. I believe it. Or you're in a relationship and you're looking at your girlfriend and you're like, man, I want to make her my wife. I think that it's time that I make that next level commitment. I think that it's time that I decide to commit to get to that next level in my relationship. And then you made the decision, you decided, no matter what, it was going to happen. Made the decision, decided, no matter what, it was going to happen, and then here's what happened. All of a sudden, you're like, all right, cool. Now I got to figure out the finances. I got to figure out where I'm going to buy it. What does she like? Start to ask her friends and family questions. What kind of ring do you think would make sense? You start asking probing questions to her just to, obviously you don't want to screw that one up. So you want to make sure like she's on the same page. You start asking questions like, hey, where do you want to be in the next year, 2 years, kids? You want to get married, this and that. So you start asking those questions because you're starting to figure it out. But here's the thing. Most of us get caught up in, oh man, what is it going to be? How do I do it? How do I do it? But the problem is that you still haven't decided. So you're halfway in and halfway out. This is huge for relationships. I mean, huge. There are people out there that are in these 8, 10, 15, 20 years. And again, please preface this. Not everyone needs to get married. That's not the standard. But I'm just saying, if you do intend to, and you've been in a relationship with somebody for 8, 10, 15 years, and you still haven't popped the question, what are you waiting for? The problem is you just haven't decided. You haven't made the decision. You're waiting for like a lightning bolt to hit you in the back of the head and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, today's the day. No, that's not how it happens. You have to decide. And then when you decide, all of a sudden the steps become clear. The how becomes clear. What to do becomes clear. Now, I had a completely different topic that I was going to talk about in today's video, but I'm really liking the direction that we're going here because I think that most people live in this place of indecision and they get so hung up on the how of what to do that they actually forget that the most important thing that they can do is get committed. Make a decision. Decide for you, not for anybody else. Decide for you and not for anybody else. I do this thing where I repeat certain things back because there are people out there that miss the message. Like some people think I'm attractive, some people think I'm ugly, I make weird face, I got an ugly smile, doesn't matter. I don't care. Get over that. What you need to think about is the message. Until I decide what I want, where I want to go, who I want to be with, what is most important to me. I decide that no matter what, it's going to happen. Until you do that, the things you care about, the things you want, the things that you're so motivated to get will never become your reality if you're 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You need to get committed. This past year has been the most fruitful year of my entire life. Didn't matter, coronavirus, COVID, schmovid, doesn't matter. I quit my job, built a company from the ground up. We've done multiple 6 figures in less than 7 months. It's been incredible. We've had literally exponential growth. My wife doesn't work anymore. She's full stay at home with the kiddos. Literally, what happened was, and I'm actually gonna make a whole new video on this, but I'll just make a super quick note on it. Basically, I was placed on furlough for my job. After being placed on furlough, the initial feeling was like, man, wow, I'm out of control. For the first time in my life, like, I've always been a high performer, top sales guy, this and that, great athlete, all these different things, accolades, great. But it was the first time I was like, man, wow, I'm fully out of control. And because my circumstance was out of my control, because there were things that led me there, let's say, what I noticed was that night, I couldn't sleep. Literally slept maybe 30 minutes. I was up. I was thinking to myself, how could this happen? Are you blaming the world? So pissed, angry. This never been dealt with situations like this. What the hell's going on? But here's what I recognized. The problem is that I wasn't taking ownership of the circumstance. Didn't matter what had happened. I just wasn't owning it. I wanted to cry, complain, talk shit about it, bitch about it. But here's the reality. I just wasn't owning it. So what I did, that next morning when I woke up, I said, hey, Justin, here's what you need to do. Write down your goals. Where do you want to go? I wrote down all my goals. I listened to a talk by Steve Harvey. Maybe I'll link it below in this YouTube video. But he basically talked about the importance of writing down hundreds of your goals. Write them all down. And that's what I did. Because I went did this deep rabbit hole of motivating YouTube videos and trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do next. And it was in that moment when I was writing down my goals, I was like, wow. When I really think about it, this is a gift. Me being placed on furlough, this is a gift. This is a blessing. Because all these big goals and dreams, want to have a yacht, a private jet, want to have multiple homes across the world, a custom built house, my kids can travel, we can live basically a fully autonomous life, we have unlimited income coming in on a consistent basis. That couldn't have been done at this damn blood-sucking job. That could have been done working for somebody else. That could have been done working, earning a paycheck, and hopefully making enough sales to get to the next level in my life. That was impossible. It was actually a gift because what I recognized is that the path that I was on wasn't conducive to the things that I was looking to achieve. So it was actually a gift. And what I decided in that moment, I said for the first time in my life, Justin, nobody controls your finances. Nobody controls the way that you live. Nobody controls your emotional aptitude. Nobody controls how you feel about yourself. Nobody controls where you're going next in your life. You have full control. And I decided at that exact moment that my life was going to be different for the rest of my life. Nobody was going to have any control of my life. And keep paying attention to this video. Like it, share, comment on it, because I will drop a link below. I'm going to go into a deep dive video. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to make that a free video, but we'll see. But I'm really going to talk deep about exactly what had happened in that transformational experience, because I went from making $115,000, $120,000 a year to then doing that in less than 3 months. So that doesn't happen without making a decision. You have to decide. You have to say, today is the day that the thing that I want most, I'm deciding, and it doesn't matter. The how is literally irrelevant. It does not matter even 1%. I'm deciding, I'm writing it down, and it's going to be my reality. So if you like this content, you're loving everything that you're learning, please continue to stay plugged in, subscribe, like this, share this with somebody. And here's another thing. Repetition is the mother of skill, which means that if you got content and good value and something that you learned today that you think is going to help you in your life, and the story that I shared could be of good value to you, why don't you go ahead and watch this again? Why don't you go ahead and watch this again? Why don't you go ahead and watch this video again so that it becomes indoctrinated into your mind? And that's just an inspiration for the next video I'm going to produce. Thank you so much for plugging in. Again, Justin Connor coming at you. Please like, please subscribe, and continue to drop your comments. Continue to share this with people who may need this content. And let's have an incredible year. 2021. It's time for you to own it. Let's go. Get all in, baby. Stay committed.